If in doubt, commission it out. The president promised he would look into all of these email and phone surveillance stuff, but did he just stuff it in a file drawer, assigning it to a commission whose findings he usually has a tendency to ignore? Let's ask Jedediah, Bila, Rob Basso, and Roginsky. All right, Jedediah, another commission. I should have bought stock pretty much leather-bound binders of this guy, given the fact that we have a lot of reports, not much action on, but a lot of reports.
Yes, and he puts James Clapper in charge of it, who is the guy who already misled Congress. When he was asked directly if Americans' information, if Americans' data was being tapped into, he said no, and he had to go back and apologize and say I was wrong. So now Americans are supposed to trust that this guy, who already misled Congress, is now somehow going to be really interested in investigating this, staying on top of it. It's ridiculous. The president wants to appear on top of it. He's had a lot of outrage from people who are advocating for privacy rights, for civil liberty rights, and he needs to look like he's engaged. It's nonsense.
It's better than nothing, isn't it, Rob?
Well, let's put this in perspective. If Snowden didn't come out with his big revelation, this wouldn't be a topic of conversation for the American public. It never would have come to the top of the surface. It never would have been discussed in his administration. It would have got completely buried someplace else, because I believe that he was in favor of what the NSA was doing all the time, and this entire operation of creating a committee.
That he knew all along this was going on.
I'm saying that I find it difficult to believe as an American citizen that he didn't have a clue at the extent of what they were actually doing. He's our commander-in-chief. He's in charge. If he doesn't know what's going on, who possibly could? So in my mind, I think that, creating another committee, think about every committee that's been created. How many are actually worthwhile committees? That's all we need right now.
Well, Julie, that's what I was thinking. Whether Republican or Democrat, commissions and their work just sort of pile up, largely ignored.
I'm going to say this as a Democrat. You're putting James Clapper in charge of investigating James Clapper, right? I mean, that's what we're basically doing. He's putting him in charge of investigating what James Clapper's been up to.
So you find it a little odd?
I find it a little bizarre, and I find it kind of disingenuous. And I watched that press conference. I thought it was a great defense of Obamacare. Don't jump all over me. But I thought it was a horrible defense of this, because you're absolutely right. Look, no president wants to have another 9/11 on their watch. Democrat, Republican, nobody wants to do it. They will go to whatever measures they will go to prevent that from happening. I think the measures that we're taking, now look, I'm not in the bowels of government, but I think the measures we're taking are way too extreme. I'm not comfortable with them. I'm opposed to it. I think it's gone way overboard. I've said that from the start. I wish Republicans.
Yes, you have. Yes,
and so my attitude is, don't have another commission. You know what you're doing. You don't need to investigate it. Investigating Clapper is really stupid. Just stop it. Don't, or explain to the American people why you feel the need to have this very wide dragnet that's completely,
or why we need to have commissions, period. I think that we've learned anything with commissions, including the debt commission, is that some of the more prominent ones are boldface ignored, and others are just given lip service. So shouldn't we gingerly go around the commission round? And commissions take a great deal of time. And usually by the time they come up with solutions, the heat is gone and no one gives a damn.
But it makes them look awfully busy, and it makes them appear like they're doing the jobs that they're
Unless you do it too
doing.
much. Unless you do it too much.
That's true. Well, the good news is that the American people don't buy it. I mean, a recent Rasmussen poll that showed that just 11% of Americans believe that what the president is suggesting is actually going to, prevent or be better at preventing their individual privacy rights from being infringed. So Americans look at this, much like the debt commission and whatnot, and say, this isn't going to help. This isn't what we want. Do something. Don't pretend to do something.
Let's take a look at the IRS
But isn't it the same as saying, I got a blue ribbon panel to look into this? You notice it's always a blue ribbon, the plant panel. Like it's just like a yellow ribbon.
What is a blue ribbon? Is that for horse shows? Because I remember getting those
That's what I'm thinking, like a 4-H fair or something like that. But it's not that, so it's obviously a commission.
But when the IRS scandal broke, oh, well, they were supposed to be investigating these people, but they were really looking at these people. That's what we're going to find here. They're only showing this much. What's really going on is really what we're trying to get to. And I think this commission is going to not find what's really going on, because if it were public knowledge what was really going on,
what would they stop?
Congress can't even talk about some of the laws that actually exist because they're secret laws. We have secret laws that Congress can't discuss in public. What is that?
This commission is reporting to James Clapper. How is this? What are they reporting to James Clapper that James Clapper doesn't already know? James Clapper,
a naughty boy.
I don't know what's scary, that James Clapper is overseeing this, or that you share our collective rage.
I do. I have shared your collective rage from day one. I just hope you shared that collective rage when the next president, who may be a Republican, comes along and does the same thing and not be hypocritical about it. But no, but it's true. James Clapper, they're going to investigate, and James Clapper's going to look at it and say, well, you got about
So where's this going?
You got about 85% right.
Obama's defending it in the process. He's saying that this is not a problem. He's saying, oh, well, I see how it could be a future potential problem, but right now it's not a problem. So he's saying it's not a problem. You have this James Clapper component in who's already
Right.
misled Congress on the issue. I think it's going to achieve absolutely nothing but make them look busy and make them look engaged.
Rob, real quick, good or bad thing in the end?
I think it's a bad thing, but I understand he bowed to political pressure to create some looking like he's actually doing something. The reality is, I don't think the commission is going to find anything worthwhile.
I just got news that I'm in charge of the National Health and Fitness Commission. I'll let you know how that goes.
We're back, please.
Twinkies for everyone.
Nice.
That'll do it
Yes.
here. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.